My guest today is Jasmine McCaul, art teacher and co-coordinator of the STUFFit Film Festival out of St John's College in Nambour. Jasmine, tell us, what did we talk about today?
Lots of things: storytelling, filmmaking, the importance of students and having opportunities for them here on the Sunshine Coast, and just some great stuff we're doing with the STUFFit Student Film Festival.
Which is on?
Saturday, the 12th of October at Majestic Cinemas in Nambour.
Come along because
Please.
And share. You are going to love this conversation so much because it's all about storytelling, and that's what we do. I'm Robin Cook. This is Stories from the Red Couch. I know you'll love it. I want to talk about the STUFFit Film Festival, obviously, because that's why you're here. But what I want to get a sense of before that is, why is art and the practice and the immersion of art important to not just teenagers, but all of us, but particularly teenagers, because that's who you're working with?
I think the thing we need to remember or understand is we are in a world that is completely saturated by the visual, and we're passively consuming that every day. And particularly as adults we do that, but particularly for teenagers who have grown up in this digital world, they have no idea what they're consuming and then what they spit back out. They're not being critical about that information. So I think learning about art, being involved with film, critiquing what we see on a daily basis is really, really important for them understanding the world and what those visual images can do in changing people's opinions or influencing people or making change in the world. And it's always done through the visual, and particularly film of later years, because that's what grabs people's attention. It's moving, it's dynamic, it's captivating.
Sure. So what about the role of storytelling in the development of us as a species, and also how storytelling places us within the context of our society or community? Why is that important?
Well, I think that's particularly important now. It was important to hold that history and share that history before we could record it. But now it's really important because with the uprising of social media, we're losing connection, and we're losing connection with each other. And even though you may see your family every single day, what conversations are you having, and what are you talking about, and what do you know about your family? And as situations change, do you continue to connect with those people? And I think with mobile phones and with devices constantly on us, we're not connecting with those around us. We're connecting remotely through social media. We're becoming voyeurs, and we're flicking and we're watching and we're always there, but we're never interacting or being a part of something. So I think to connect with someone, to tell a story, to watch a movie which has an experience that you yourself has experienced, to feel emotion, all of those things are so important to becoming well-rounded, stable people, understanding what it is to be a part of a world that exists beyond our own being.
Yeah, because it's really easy to be consumers of that.
Very easy.
And it's actually easy to be a creator of that because we have all of the equipment at our fingertips.
Yes.
But sometimes there's that disconnected sense of, well, I can't possibly share my story, or my story is not so important. So there's that element of in filmmaking, particularly in that style of storytelling, recognising ourselves in that.
Yes.
And then being able to relay that from your own point of view.
That's right. I think in a world where we live now, everything's been done before. In art, in drama,
everything.
in everything. Stories, it's been done before.
It has, and it kind of it makes me feel a little depressed sometimes.
But you shouldn't feel depressed because each of us has our own individual experience or feelings with something.
Yeah.
And I think we forget that although we're both sitting here on a red couch, your experience of this is different to mine. And we think it's the same, but it's not the same. And when I go and speak of this to somebody else, it's different to when you speak of it to somebody. And for everybody around, you need to realise that your voice matters, that your perspective matters, and that your perspective is coloured from your past and your history. So your family values, how they were raised. You know, growing up in suburbia or in country, that's all different. It creates different perspectives, and that's why it's important to keep telling those stories, because 4 people in a room experiencing the one thing can tell 4 very different stories, and they're all meaningful and they're all important and they're all truths.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, tell me about the STUFFit Film Festival. Where is it right now? And where are we going to take it?
Well, we're at a really, really exciting tipping point where last year was our first year where we got international entries. And so it's, for me as a teacher facilitator of a student committee that runs a festival for students, it's really, really exciting because when we talk about stories, kids see things from a different perspective.
Absolutely.
And it is fresh and it is new and it is interesting. And I think as we grow up, we forget what it's like to be a kid because we know more and we've done more and we're more experienced, but we forget to tell stories from that different perspective. And we even forget that we were that at one point in time.
I often think that I'm no different, and many people do think that, well, I'm no different to when I was that age, but clearly
that's right.
There's a gulf of difference.
Exactly. So every year I get inspired. So we get entries from overseas, we get entries from all around Australia, and every year I'm so inspired and just, I cannot believe the quality of the entries. And you spoke before about how everything's at our fingertips now.
Yes.
And it is. Every kid almost has a smartphone.
That's right.
And those cameras are incredible and they can film everything, everywhere, all the time. So it's no longer the case of I have to be a film and television student to be able to borrow equipment to then film something that's worthwhile. It's I can take my phone out of my pocket if I care enough to tell a story.
That's right.
And the stuff that comes through is incredible. It's so amazing every year. I cannot believe it's students making this stuff and telling these stories, and the visual quality and the magic they see in ordinary places and ordinary situations is really, really cool.
So where have the entries come from so far?
So far the entry date's still open. So entries, you can keep entering, get your students to enter.
Yeah, if you've got kids at home making films, enter.
So that's open until after the June-July holidays, or into June-July holidays. So there's still time to film. But so far we've received entries from schools in Brisbane and interstate, and also we've received lots of entries from America and some entries from Russia, which is really, really good. And that's another exciting element, is we're seeing stories from students the same age, but from different countries with different cultures and different upbringings. So we're really being able to see the same issue but in different cultures being spoken about. It's very exciting.
That might be a good study topic for a university student.
Absolutely.
Looking at how how that pans out.
Yes. And so because we've got this international element coming in and we're starting to grow, we want to continue growing, obviously, and the STUFFit Festival is a student festival run by students after school. We meet after school. So it's full-time teachers helping full-time students, and we're running a festival. And that's really, really hard.
It is hard.
Because right now there's exams and there's other stuff that needs to be done.
You've got assessments to write.
And it's pressing for them. And so to categorise and prioritise all those things is really difficult, but the kids keep turning up and we keep having a STUFFit Film Festival. But yeah, we really want to connect with our community and look at other people doing similar things but different.
Yeah, so how might that work in in the Sunshine Coast, what other groups are here that you're imagining you would have as a community?
Well, when we started 7 years ago or 8 years ago, the biggest thing for us was we wanted to remain on the coast, because often these great ventures start on the coast and move to Brisbane.
Yes.
Because that's where accessibility is and there's more happening there. But we don't want that to happen. We don't want to leave the coast. And there's lots of great film festivals. There's the Noosa Film Festival and Heart of Gold in Gympie, and the Caloundra Fringe Festival that has a student showcase, and the STUFFit Film Festival, and we're all doing different things. We're not competing against each other because we do have those different elements, different themes.
It's almost like a season of film festivals, isn't it? Because they're at a similar time.
Yeah, so it'd be really great if somehow we can connect in with those and cross-promote each other and work together to keep building that Sunshine Coast community. And they're just ones that I know about. I know there's so much more happening that we don't know about because we don't have enough time to find out about them.
So there's the Sunshine Coast Screen Collective too, which is bringing all of these skills and trades and talent together.
So it's about, we've only heard about that recently, so it's about connecting in with those people and seeing what we can do for them and what they can do for us, and how we can grow. And the whole point of the STUFFit Student Film Festival is to provide opportunities for students in real world situations. And so yes, there's an element where students enter their films and they get recognised for their films, but there's also the element of the students in the committee that do, today I had a student calling up to look at prices for advertising in cinemas and looking at newspaper advertising and drawing up a budget, and there's just so many skills that they're learning for a real event situation. And then we get to the end of the year and they see that people come to this event and there's awards at this event, and there's presenters, dignitaries come along and they meet dignitaries and they welcome MPs, and it's all students doing that. We really just, as teachers, we step back and we just let them run it, and it's amazing how professional they are.
I know.
It's really
Do you know what's
inspiring.
Really amazing though? I mean, that is all very inspiring. But what blows my mind is the level of dedication of 3 teachers at this school who, well above and beyond your call of duty, support these students in this real world immersive learning where they are experiencing so many incredible things. But they wouldn't do that without the 3 of you.
No, and it is tough, but we continue to do it because we really believe in this opportunity. We believe in this idea. And we feel sad sometimes that we can't commit as much time to it as we need to, because we've got our primary jobs as being those teachers. And one of us is a vet coordinator, and so she sees so many possibilities connecting kids with all these different industries. You know, we're organising an event, but it's not about just organising an event. It's about the marketing, it's about the people we can connect to, it's about who can we get to come in, it's about judges. There's so many elements to it.
So what sort of things do you need? You know, if we were able to talk to the general public right now, what do you need?
We need we need money. We always need money, but we need, I think, that community connection. We struggle every year to get the word out. We struggle every year with money. So we started with a grant. That grant's run out, and every year we're searching, pulling teeth, trying to find people that will give us money to help us continue this. We're trying to cultivate some workshops that use industry professionals on the coast so that kids can come in and pay to go to a holiday workshop that will generate an income for us, so we can then run the film festival.
Yeah, because that's the whole other thing. You've got this festival that you're running and the kids are learning and all of this, and it's fabulous. But at some point we need to make it financially sustainable, which is another whole area of learning for the kids.
And it's a whole area of learning for us as teachers, because we're trained to be teachers. We're not trained to run an event. And so we don't have the marketing skills. We don't have the growing, you know, the business skills to grow it. And so I guess if you couldn't give us money, what we would want is your expertise or time or industry help and knowledge to come in and run a workshop for us in our hour meeting after school and say, this is what you need to do to market this event.
Yes.
This is who you need to connect in with this community. This is how you get the word out about that. This is what you're doing wrong, because we're just kind of flying by the seat of our pants. And so far, because we're hard workers, I guess it's working or it's chugging along. But to be able to, we know this is incredible and we know what we're doing is great.
It is.
But we struggle to take it to that next level. And
which is
we need
really where
others.
it needs
Yes,
to go now.
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely.
And for it to be cemented as a Sunshine Coast event.
Yes. And that's what we want, Sunshine Coast event. And we want it to be something that all families come to and enjoy, because the quality of the films is so rich.
It is.
It's great to see student work. I think it's also really good for students. I think a lot of young people have a lot of self-doubt. And as a teacher, you know, as an art teacher, you show students artists of influence, but they're professional artists.
Yes.
And it's easy for a child or a student to say, yeah, but they're professional, that's why I'm not that good.
That's right.
But when you show them student work that you wouldn't know is student work, that you think is professional, they start to believe, and well, if that kid can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
And that's all they need. They just need self-belief to, you know, to kind of push themselves over that. And they've got supportive teachers or family or whoever it is. They've got technology at their fingertips. So for students to come along and see other student work from interstate, from overseas, and see that they could be a part of that, it's really, really cool. And for local students that come and watch their films on the big screen, what a buzz. It's just wow, look at all these people in this cinema watching my film. And it's really, really awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So tell us, where and when is the STUFFit Film Festival?
Well, the 2019 STUFFit Film Festival is going to be at the Majestic Cinema and C Square in Nambour, and it's going to be on Saturday the 12th of October, and we're really looking forward to all of you coming, and that will be all the shortlisted and finalist films. So we get a whole pile of entries in, the STUFFit Student Committee shortlists them, and then they get sent off to judges, professionals in the industry, that then pick a finalist list and the finals, the award winners, and then all of that's presented on the night. So it's a really fun event.
It is a fun event. So what we'd like you to do, please, is to jump onto the STUFFit Film Festival Facebook page.
Yes, and Instagram pages.
And Instagram.
Yes, yep.
Facebook and Instagram, STUFFit Film Festival. Like them and then share.
Yes, share.
Please share.
Please share.
Because these three incredible teachers work ridiculous hours to support a handful of students to pull together an international film festival. And if you believe in the power of our children and our future, then this is a really great way to show that.
It's really great, and that's why we continue to work hard every year, because we know how good it is for these kids, and it's a great opportunity here on the Sunshine Coast. And although it's based on the Sunshine Coast, it's also a great opportunity for the students whose work has been entered and is viewed, even if they're interstate or overseas. It's so exciting for them to know. The overseas entries from last year were just so pumped that their films were being shown in Australia, and there was an Australian audience watching them, and they're, you know, 13,
incredible.
14, 15 years old. What a great experience.
And then once you've shared the daylights out of it, then come to the Majestic Cinema on the 12th of October.
The 12th of October, Saturday afternoon.
In Nambour. It's going to be a fantastic day. It really will be.
It really is. It's great.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank
Jasmine,
you
for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
That was brilliant. My guest today is Jasmine McCaul from St John's College, Nambour, and STUFFit Film Festival. I know you'll love it. So maybe you say, STUFFit Student Film Festival
Needs you.
needs you.
Like this.
Yes.